Hey guys, what's up? It's Yomeng here, and today I have a crazy story time for you guys. So for my job, I work as a lifeguard for Sanssouci Pool, and around a month ago, I was harassed by a gaggle of eshays. Now these were the worst behaving people I've ever met in my entire life. So, during one of my shifts on Saturday, a group of 5 or 6 teenage boys came in, and right off the bat, I had a sneaking suspicion that this lot were up to no good. They possessed that eshay physiognomy, decked out with mullets, and they had that annoying, daft, perpetual grin. If you know, you know. So they came in, and they started diving and bombing in the indoor 25-meter pool, which obviously is against the rules of the place. So I had to come out and I had to say, hey guys, can you please move to the 50-meter? And I did so very politely. And they walked out laughing, saying, wow, we're already in trouble. And from then on, I knew that this was going to be a rough couple of hours. So then all these people, all these teenagers, they started jumping into the 50-meter pool where people were doing their lap swimming and rehabilitation walking and exercises. And of course there was a free play lane for them to go in. But they just didn't want their shenanigans to be contained, you know? Now if you're a normal person watching this, you're probably under the impression that when people go to the pool, they just swim in the lane that they want, right? But what some people love to do is, and I kid you not, they swim horizontally through the pool. So instead of swimming up and down through the lanes vertically, they swim over the lane ropes horizontally, basically causing maximum disruption to every single person in the pool. So collisions start happening as people doing freestyle or any lap swimming start running into these random boys' bodies. So these kids were running around the outside of the pool and then jumping in. Basically, they were playing tips. So they'd swim and they'd chase each other horizontally across the pool, trying to like grab each other and tackle each other in the water. And they were also doing all sorts of flips and weird dives. So I called out to them and I said that they had to stay out of the lap lanes, and that they had to dive, and if they wanted to dive, they had to dive at the deep end of the pool, not the shallow end, because again, it's just a rule that I have to enforce because the people managing the pool are afraid of like people having their necks broken and stuff, whatever. They said okay, but then they immediately started doing it all again. They continued diving at the shallow end of the 50-meter, not the deep end. So I walked up to them again, and I said stop, and I pointed at the sign saying no diving. And I said, what does that say? It was a bit sassy, and this was right in front of their mother, and I was like, oh, that may cause some issues. So then the mother said that they should be able to do whatever they want because they paid more money to get in. They paid more money than everyone else. Now, obviously, the prices weren't higher for them. It's just that the woman was paying for multiple teenagers. So it just doesn't make any sense, this whole we're paying more money than everyone else. Because the prices are the same for them, just as everyone else. So the rules apply to them the same as everyone else. So then I said that they couldn't play in the lap lanes because that's where people are swimming, and they'd complain to me, which they do. One of the most common complaints I get from patrons is them complaining that there are slow people in the fast lane, or that kids are playing and blocking off lanes. And then she said to me, well, no one's complaining. And then I was like, yes, but they will start complaining. So then I started walking back to the 25-meter, and then the mother ran up behind me. And then she started exploding at me. So what happened was, people started complaining to them. And then she said that the people that were now complaining, so she said that people were complaining and that it was my fault. So she was under the impression, I suppose, that I must have maliciously inspired the people or like roused up the people to get angry at her. And then, I admit, we started getting into a bit of a heated argument, and she said that she would report me to the manager. And I said, I encourage you. She then asked me for my name, and I said Oliver. And I walked away, and as I was walking away, the duty manager must have seen what was going on because he radioed me, and he asked me if everything was alright. And I told him what happened, and that he should probably speak to the mother, and that I'd speak to the kids again, because I thought she was going to report me anyway, so may as well just have that happen sooner rather than later. And so I was going to speak to the kids, and as I was walking out to the 50 meter, well, two people started complaining about the kids to me, so I had to wait and had to listen to them complain about these kids, and rightfully so, because they were being drongos. There was a middle-aged woman who was doing rehab walking, like, because basically she was just doing, rehabilitation exercises in a lane that was specifically, that had walking and rehabilitation exercise on it. And she called them hoodlums, and I was like, damn, I haven't heard that word in 50 years, but they are. And the mother must have used that money argument on them as well, because then they said, why is their money worth more than ours? Which is, again, it just makes no sense, that line of argument, that they're like, we paid money so we can do whatever we want, but then it's like, well, everyone else paid money, and then they're like, well, we paid more money, and that's like, yeah, because you have more people in your party. Doesn't make any sense. So these kids kept doing the same stuff. They were playing tips all over and across the entire pool, and I could see lap swimmers having to slow down or move around them. And once again, I asked them to stop swimming horizontally through the pool. I even made them 2 free play lanes instead of 1, and I had to move 2 lap swimmers out of one of the lap lanes to the other lanes just to placate these eshay invaders. It's because usually we only make 2 free play lanes if there's lots of people there. So just lots of people want to play, so like maybe, I don't know, there's like 20 people in the free play lane or whatever, so we have to kind of expand it. But there was barely anyone in the free play lane. It's just that, well, there were like maybe 3 or 4 people in the free play lane, but we just had to, so I just thought, you know what, I'm going to try and placate these people invading. So I was like, alright, I'll make them 2 free play lanes to try and kind of calm everything down. I then spoke to them again for the same reasons, and then I went on break, and the manager spoke to all of them again when I was on break. And then as I came back from my break, he then told me that he might kick them out. And I spoke to them again, even though my manager, so then I was being a lifeguard again, just walking around the indoor and the outdoor pool like usual, and my manager told them to not speak to them again, and if they were misbehaving, that I should just radio him and he'd kick them out. But nonetheless, I did speak to them again, even though I just thought, I just thought maybe trying to kick them out would be more hassle. Finally, my manager did go up to them and ask them to leave, and here is where things start to go even more insane. So one of the kids then ran at my manager and fake tried to push him into the pool. I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw that. That was insane. Just the level of disrespect, entitlement, unruliness, eshayness was just off the charts. And then as they were going out as they were kind of hopping out of the outdoor pool, they kept pushing each other back into the pool and laughing and snorting and huffing and puffing. And my manager finally spoke to the mum, who was sitting inside the 25-meter pool, conveniently at distance from the carnage unfolding outside. And then the kids did going inside, but then they started jumping and pushing each other into the swimming lessons classes in the indoor pool, where small kids were learning how to swim. And the classes that were on were the Chinese Ling swimming classes. So I felt so bad for the instructor and the kids. And then the Eshay kids hopped out, and they all scattered, and they just scattered and scampered just back into the 50-meter pool. So I followed them out to ask them to leave again, and the kid that threatened the manager ran up behind me and slapped the hat off my head, and I was just like, oh my god, these people are insane. And I then yelled at them again and said, what the hell is wrong with you all? And I said, I think I may have said that they can't read. I may have called them stupid, I don't know. But I don't think I called them stupid, because you're not supposed to do that. But maybe I heavily implied that they were stupid. And then my manager apparently threatened to call the police, and then they finally left. Yeah. So that was that. Those kids were the worst people I've ever met at the pool. It was just gobsmacking at how misbehaving they were. I just couldn't believe it. I was thinking about just how horrible these parents must be. And I was thinking about how impossible it would be for these kids to grow up and fit within the rest of civilized society. I just thought, how are these kids gonna go anywhere? They're just so belligerent and insane. So anyway, that's it for today. I just thought I'd tell you guys that, because that was one of the worst experiences I've ever had at the pool. If you want more crazy stories, just tell me. I can say more stuff, and if you want to hear about something specific, just tell me. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.